It's something that we all do, but scientifically, it's also something we need to do. Now, that isn't a personal opinion by any means. There's a myriad of research and studies all relating to sleep, some of which I will elaborate on later. The purpose of this speech is to inform you all about the science behind why we sleep, and also how technology can be especially disruptive to this process. There are three main things that I'll be talking to you all about today, and those are the two processes that drive the need for sleep, why technology is especially disruptive to these processes, and the negative effects of sleep deprivation. Firstly, I'd like to talk about something called circadian rhythms. In order to understand circadian rhythms, you have to visualize a clock much like the one I have shown here. The body is controlled by a sort of internal clock that is based off of a 24-hour day and controls most circadian rhythms. As you can see here, the circadian rhythms control our body's periods of wakefulness and periods of sleep. These right here are the periods of sleep, and this right here is the period of being awake. Now, this clock is responsible for many sleep-related bodily functions, such as body temperature, response to light, hormone release, and several others. Now, let's talk about the second process that drives our need for sleep, and that's called sleep-wake homeostasis. Sleep-wake homeostasis monitors the body's need for sleep. In simpler terms, it means that after a period of being awake, our body tries harder and harder to put itself to sleep. This process, like circadian rhythms, uses environmental cues, such as a brightly lit room, along with other factors such as medication and overall health, in order to tell our body that it needs to go to sleep. An example would be that, say for example, you want to go to sleep. Oftentimes, we find it a lot harder to fall asleep in a brightly lit room like this, rather than a dark environment, and that's because our bodies respond to light, and if we're in a brightly lit room, our body isn't going to tell us to go to sleep. Now, another thing about circadian rhythms is that the longer that you're awake, the harder and harder your body tries to put itself to sleep. Moving on, as you can see, sleep is strongly influenced by environmental cues, which is one reason that technology is especially disruptive to these processes. Technology, specifically any technological devices that has a screen, emits light. Now, as you can see in this picture, when we're on our phones at night or our computers or our TVs, everything with a screen emits light. And this is disruptive because with that body's response to light, it tricks our bodies into thinking that we're in a period of being awake. In fact, an article published by Harvard Medical School says that exposure to light suppresses the secretion of melatonin. This is melatonin right here, and it's a chemical produced by our brains in the pineal gland. Evidently, technology has the potential to disrupt the body's sleep-wake homeostatic process and cause us to enter into a period of wakefulness. Additionally, reduction in average sleep duration due to delayed bedtime, early waking up, sleep disruption by nightmares, and sleepwalking are all related to nighttime technology use. The last thing I want to mention here is that technology disrupts the two distinct electroencephalogram patterns which drive our need for sleep, and those are non-REM sleep and REM sleep. Every time we go to sleep, we cycle through these processes about 4 to 5 times on average every night. And technology is harmful to this process because the longer we stay awake, the less time we spend in the deeper stages of sleep, meaning that our quality of sleep eventually declines. So what happens when we deprive our bodies of sleep? Sleep deprivation is a very serious issue, and I'm not saying that just because I personally don't get enough sleep. Sleep is a restorative process and is helpful in reversing cellular changes that occur during wakefulness. That basically means that when we go to sleep, our body is restoring itself from everything we did while being awake. As previously stated, our bodies need sleep in order to recover from the activities that occur during being awake. Failure to provide our bodies with adequate sleep not only causes feelings of tiredness and grogginess, but it can lead to serious issues such as difficulty focusing, irritability, depression, and anxiety. In conclusion, sleep is a vital part of our lives. And to sum it all up, we sleep because of two things: circadian rhythms and sleep-wake homeostasis. Those two processes are in control of the two processes that occur during sleep, which are non-REM sleep and REM sleep. Technology has the potential to disrupt these processes because of the light emissions from technological devices, and serious health problems can occur if we deprive our bodies of its restoration process. Maybe after this presentation, you all will think twice about checking that notification on your phone while you're sitting in bed at night, or maybe altogether you'll just think twice about using your technology devices when you're trying to go to sleep. Thank you.